Sponsored by the Mortons.
Mortons coffee.
This is the first time we do this. I'm Isa from Elle Photography. You know me because you're on my channel right now, as opposed to him.
So you might know me, but I'm Stefan, and if you're on my channel, you should know me too, Uptown Xpress.
So in case you don't realize, we have two cameras rolling right now. We're looking at both cameras. And we have a lot to do in life. And we're gonna do both videos at the same time. I invited Stefan here to talk about lighting. I went to a wedding a few weeks ago and the reception was decked out in lights, which is really cool when it comes to photography. However, they had everything from spotlights on the cake to uplighting on the walls. So please tell me if I'm getting these terms wrong because I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
They had lights in the back of the DJ booth and they had laser lights. Can you please talk about these laser lights? Tell the people, what are these lights?
Well, you know what?
Explain them to us.
Before I explain them to you, let me just turn some on. I don't use those, but are these what you're talking about? These kind of lights?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I need these lights. The lights that are impossible to retouch.
Right, so you mean like on a white dress, and then DJs turn on lights like this.
Why, Stefan?
Why?
Why do we get these lights?
I think so. I think I can explain why. I think oftentimes if you hire either a young DJ or inexperienced DJs, these types of lights are not very expensive relative to the professional lights that we'll use at a wedding that really make things pop and have a lot more interesting things to do with these lights. These lights are relatively inexpensive, and a lot of DJs who are starting out or just don't really want to invest that money will get these types of lights because they look cool, or they think they look cool. I don't know how cool, you know, a face full of dots and a dress full of dots is.
It was crazy. During the first dance, during speeches, there was always these little green dots. It was so hard. I'm telling you, Stefan, I wanted to cry.
I believe you, and I mean, even if they had these lights, you don't need to turn on these lights during speeches and dinner. These are for the dance time.
I know. So what are these called?
So small little dots, that's a laser. So and typically the green laser is the most inexpensive. And the one that's a bigger,
They're like bugs.
the bigger dots, these are very common, these LED dot lights, and there's a 1,000 models out there. So refer to them as LED lights or dot lights, and they typically just shine these dots everywhere.
So what should a bride and groom ask for instead? If they want lights, because I know that for me, I'm a photographer. If I go to a DJ and say, I want lights, I'll be like, give me lights. But maybe he'll bring this. I don't want him to bring this. What
people need to learn to ask for, you use those dot lights or those laser lights, and they'll be like, well, yes or no, and here are the pictures, and is that what you want? The fancier, much better quality lights, we call those moving heads or intelligent lighting, and they're more like projectors. They shoot out nice spotlights and nice patterns and not these dots. So I think you're okay with just asking for no dots.
No dots.
Say no to dots.
Say no to dots. Your photographer will probably hate you for life. If this is what you want, that's fine. It's your wedding, right?
It's their wedding, absolutely.
But you have to expect that the photographer will not be able to retouch these out. Even though they have a really big light on their camera, these dots will still be all over their faces or anything else. And to retouch this, we will have to send it to a professional, which will cost you a lot of money. If it's just turning on a switch or spending thousands of dollars more, I think it answers itself.
Don't even use these lights, period, because nowadays, I mean, there's so many more options out there, and if you can't afford to get the intelligent lights, that's totally fine. Just stick with simple wash lighting. Don't use these dot lights, because this is what you're gonna look like.
But you know what? Photographers sometimes leave earlier in the night, right? Like 10, 11 o'clock, so use those later. I mean, I guess they're okay. But for photography, just please, have a heart. This is hard.
Say no to dots.
Just say no to dots.
Say no to dots. Pros.
We're pros. We're professionals. Are we supposed to look at the camera like at all times?
I think
Instead of looking
at each other. Or both.
We'll just talk like this. Hi!
My name is
Isabella. Is this a game?